Hello everyone, and welcome back to X-Plane 11, where I'm continuing my flight with the SR-71 Blackbird, this time taking off from Athens and intending to fly to Dubai, and we'll fly over Cairo and Jerusalem, but mostly I'm going to be keeping it fairly high and fast in order to get to Dubai as quickly as possible. So yeah, actually I was considering just heading straight to India if that's at all reasonable. But if you take a look at the whole flight, that'd be 3,400 miles. I'm not entirely sure. If I think that after we reach Dubai I could move on to land in Bombay instead, I think that would be a good thing to do. But we'll see. Otherwise, there's a lot of desert. You know, I mean, there are certain possible landing spots. Certainly a lot of places to take spy photos of. But yeah, I think we'll be mostly passing over the Middle East rather than lingering around. Alright, so on that note, let's get started. Throttling up and brakes off. Let's take it from inside the cockpit this time. I've been taking it from outside the cockpit a few times now. So we're not going to do another flyover of Athens. I think I definitely did enough flying over Athens last time. So yeah. Cairo, on the downside with Cairo, we are not going to have the pyramids. Yep, there's no pyramids there. I think you could probably, I'll see if it's possible to see the pyramids via the photo scenery, but I don't know for sure though. It might be difficult. Okay, we are off the ground and headed south. In theory, I've got some good Himalaya scenery, so that's really what I want to get to. Mountains are always cool. I've got the real-world weather again. Last time it didn't really hurt. I think there's sort of a technique for passing through the clouds without crashing the game. Sort of like, just get through them quickly. Don't linger through the clouds. That's the theory anyway. I mean, obviously this plane should be able to cover 3,400 miles. It's a matter of when I dip down at Cairo and Jerusalem, how much that will hurt our performance. With a slower plane, it might be interesting to follow the Nile up from Alexandria on up into Kenya to Lake Victoria and its source. Sort of a little adventure trip, but that's not so interesting with this. Okay, well, in my haste to jet past, I'm neglecting some islands here. There are a lot of Aegean Sea islands, after all, and we should pass Crete at some point, so I should make note of that. Let me see if I can identify these, though. It's a little bit hard. Anyway, let's not accidentally miss Crete, at least. We've missed a few of the Aegean Sea islands, but Crete is coming up ahead here. That's Crete there. And we're accelerating still, trying to get to higher Mach numbers here. Ooh, let me not be too hasty. Let's see, where are we? Mach 2.3 right now. Okay, here's Crete. Hello, Cretans. Well, actually that doesn't sound very good, does it? But I think that's proper, right? Cretans are from Crete. Okay, we are now going as fast as possible across the Mediterranean Sea, headed towards the Nile River Delta. Nothing much in sight right now, though. Okay, we can see the north coast of Egypt here, And I need to correct a little bit towards the east in order to hit the Nile River Delta. So that's what I'm doing. So we're sort of following the coast right now. Okay, we're sort of going high and fast still, but we're passing over Alexandria now. And so the city you see down there is Alexandria. And there's sort of waterways, lakes and such in here. So I think that's just a lack of rendering right there. But this is Alexandria. One of many, many cities named after Alexander the Great. He had a habit of doing that. And then this is the Nile River Delta. You can sort of see the river poking out there. That is the Nile. The Nile is sort of a more orderly river than, say, like the Mississippi, which sort of fans out all over the place. Yeah, it's very constrained because of the desert, partly. This area is relatively green, as you can see. Good farmland. But it quickly gets all deserty. Cairo's right there. It's no mystery. You can see the conglomeration of airfields. Okay, so there's the Nile right below us. Doesn't look like much, does it? But, yep, that's the famous river itself. There's another branch of the Nile over here. And so they merge right there. And let's see if I can get a name for... well, that's basically the start of Cairo right there, where the two branches merge. So this is the city of Cairo. And we're still fairly high up here. I'll try and point out where the pyramids would be, and we'll do some passes. You can see these islands in the river are the heart of Cairo. That one in particular, Gezira Island, has Cairo Tower, and then that's the heart of Cairo, and then over here is the area called Giza. So to the southwest of the heart of Cairo. And you can sort of see the pyramids right now. They're right here. This is the so-called Giza Necropolis. Well, there seems to be a weird building right there, but you can see the imprint of the pyramids right there. We'll go slower, and we really need to go slower right now and come around. Okay, another pass, currently over Giza. Right there is the Giza Zoo and Cairo University. And over here is where the pyramids are. Again, it's a shame we don't have the real pyramids, and I don't know what that big building... Maybe that's a stand-in for the pyramids, that big building right there. It's trying. It reads that there's something with elevation there, but it doesn't know what, so it put a building there. But there are the pyramids. And I guess the Sphinx is somewhere around, but that'll be hard to see. It's not that big compared to the pyramids. At least that was my impression. Okay, we're gonna have to turn northeast anyway, so we'll pass by Cairo again. Okay, so again right here, this is Giza Zoo, and this is the Cairo University. Looks like they've got a little field there. Lots of trees have been placed there by the game, but they do have a good agricultural department, I assume. I would bet on it. Alright, we depart the Nile for now. Interesting sort of city pattern, Cairo. Very, very dense in here. Lots of little small buildings, and then it doesn't give the impression of your normal sort of suburban sprawl, but it does have these sorts of cities off to the side here too. Okay, we are approaching the Suez Canal. That's it right there. That's the sort of lake in the middle of it. We're basically aimed right for that at the moment. And let me get the name of that lake. Great Bitter Lake. Don't know if everybody calls it that. There's some interesting patterns on the ground here. I don't know what that's about exactly. But this still seems to be photo scenery, so I guess that's what it looks like right there. Interesting. Obviously the circles I know, it's just these sorts of like things that look like film. I'm not entirely clear about. Great Bitter Lake, huh? So out there to the north is Port Said, and then there's the canal. Goes through the lake and down, whoops, and down right there is the city of Suez, and then the Red Sea. Well, actually, technically, I guess this is the Gulf of Suez. It joins up with the Gulf of Aqaba and then becomes the Red Sea. So that's just the Gulf of Suez, not the full Red Sea yet. And as we cross the Suez Canal, of course, the other side is the Sinai Peninsula. Okay, we are approaching Israel. Right here should be the Gaza Strip coming up. On the Egyptian side there isn't too much going on, though I think this airport is in Egypt. It's tough for me to see. I don't see El Gora on my map. But we need to dive here. But right here is Gaza International, so that's the Gaza Strip. And oh, I think we can clearly see the border here. Yeah, pretty clear that that's the border. And yeah, I don't think we'll be needing much of a map anymore. That's the border between Egypt and Israel, and that is the border of the Gaza Strip on this side and the rest of Israel there. You can see how densely packed the Gaza Strip is. Sort of unmistakable. And right on the border here is the city of Rafah. We're at 34,000 feet right now. Okay, so this is the border of the Gaza Strip. That's the north border. And you can see the eastern border of it. Highly dense area. You can see on the map the Dead Sea is right there. Tel Aviv should be right there, yes. And that was the Gaza Strip there. I think I have some scenery issues near the Dead Sea there. You can see a jagged edge. Clearly a missing tile there. Or at least a tile, I think that's supposed to be water. And the tile isn't properly rendering, unfortunately. Yeah, so Well, this is part of what I wanted to check out on this flight, to see what scenery needed fixing. We haven't had too many problems, but clearly there is a tile problem here. Hopefully it hasn't affected Jerusalem itself. I don't think so. Oh great, we've got serious cloud cover over Jerusalem right now. Let's see if we can slow down and get below it all. $4,000. Okay, we are below. Looks like 3,000 is fine. Okay, well, let's see. Where are we? We can see some texture issues out there. I think we're north of the core of Jerusalem. Let's try and find a road to follow. The Hologen isn't really following the photo scenery underneath. You can see there's sort of buildings around here, but it's not placing them. I think this is Jerusalem. From this height, it's tough to see where, like, well, just, I don't know, I think the photo scenery is so faded it's not placing stuff properly. And I imagine there's many more buildings here. This is roughly where it ought to be. There's something going on out there. But yeah, it looks like the photo scenery here is extremely faded. Well, that's a shame. But I did a sort of lap around and I don't see anything else that looks a lot like Jerusalem. So, our first mysteriously not rendered city. Okay. Okay, well, despite the problems with the opposite side, we have some good textures for this side of the Dead Sea. Barren, though still generally looking good here over in Jordan. Oh, this is a beautiful canyon cut by this river, but Google Maps isn't telling me which one it is. Let's see. I see a Mujib Nature Reserve and a Mujib Dam. Apparently that's the Mujib Dam right there. So what are the chances this is called the Mujib River? Just a guess, but I mean, that's the best I can do. It's not giving me a river name. Well, it's sort of curious. We've got sort of a map problem here. I don't know why it's not rendering the ground properly. Outside, I have to admit, it looks a little bit generic, but there are, you know, some features, some noteworthy features. So I'm not sure, but yeah, making it somewhat harder to navigate, but we'll hit water at some point, so we'll be able to judge from that. Currently at Mach 2.7 at about 50,000 feet and trying to climb here. Not the best fuel efficiency, might have to land in Dubai after all. Okay, well my map continues to be rather deceptive, showing this to be water when it's actually Saudi Arabia, but at least we've got Rafah up there, and so I know where I am relative to that. We're about halfway across the portion of Saudi Arabia that we are supposed to be crossing. So we probably have about 300 more miles until the Persian Gulf. And that is where we are. Currently at 70,000 feet and descending temporarily. Trying to keep my fuel consumption low. Overall, as far as the trip is concerned, we're 1,400 miles in. I'm not feeling great about trying to get to Mumbai at this point, but we'll see. Alright, we see the coast of the Persian Gulf at last. Um, there's really not much to Saudi Arabia at this point, not without photo scenery. Unfortunately, it's quite monotonous. And sort of annoying that the map didn't display it properly, but at least it seems to have the coastline. That's a start. Okay, here's Al Jubail, and I'm gonna turn towards Bahrain, which is actually that island right there. And then the peninsula further on, that's Qatar. So we'll fly over those. No particularly special scenery here, though. Alright, that is Bahrain right there. Just that island. Well, and I guess this stuff up here. And looking at the map, it really does look like it's highly populated on the northern half of it, and then barren on the southern half. It's very interesting. There's plenty of road networks on the northern half, but it's like completely empty. One roadway in the southern half. I mean, a major roadway. So it's a curious sort of thing. It does have that unique island structure down there. You can see that. That's a petal sort of city down there. Somebody, you know, somebody's little billionaire pet project. You know how those are around here. Yeah. So the one highway that goes down south is the King Hamad Highway, and it leads down to that area. The stuff a lot of oil money will get you. So this peninsula here is Qatar, and you might see over there the indications of a city, and that's Doha. Okay, this is Doha. You can see the Doha airport right there, and some interesting island structures, as you might expect. Apparently, you can't do without those around here. Okay, we are approaching the coast of United Arab Emirates. This is an interesting sort of island. Pretty sure it's not natural, but it's also not particularly a pictograph of any kind. So maybe there is some good reason for it to be shaped like that. We'll call that one utilitarian anyway. So if I turn a little bit to the left here, we would be headed towards Abu Dhabi. That's right there. And then northeast of Abu Dhabi is Dubai. So I will land at Dubai. This is Abu Dhabi right here. Plenty of harbor structures. Lots of harbor structures, in fact. But nothing so sophisticated as what we'll see in Dubai, I suppose. You can see one of the little palm tree-like island structures coming up right here. I don't know if they call them palm tree things. Yeah, I think it's based on a palm tree. But yeah, these things are pretty huge too. Non-trivial island structures. And there's that conglomeration. I wonder what they call that. Don't know if it's supposed to be intentional or not. I suppose it must be intentional. Most of the stuff around here is. I mean, artificial. Yep, but not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. Oh, is that supposed to be like a map of the world? Is that like South America, North America, kind of Asia, Africa, and Australia kind of thing? I don't know. It sort of seems like that, doesn't it? Is that? And that looks like Greenland up there. I don't know. Just gives me that feeling. It's a bit weird though. Like, and then that's Antarctica? Not sure. They tried. And there's another bunch of island constructions there. I don't think that looks quite natural. I mean, it's tough to say, but I guess the going thesis around here is that the islands are probably not natural. That is definitely an artificial construct. Well, most of the waterways are. That's just how things are. But what is that supposed to be? I have a feel that looks like a face to me, but maybe I'm just overreading it. Maybe it is just like that. I don't know. I'll get your thoughts. That's sort of a thing. That's definitely a thing. Okay, well, definitely interesting bays here. Harbors. Lots of harbors. I guess it's no surprise that they would have a delight in waterways. Okay, I see it on the map, but the name doesn't tell me anything. Marjan Island Boulevard. That's that road there. But yeah, doesn't tell me what it's for or anything. Yep, I don't have a particular name for that formation. They should have at least a name on the map. The best I've got is Hamria Fishing Point. Yeah, we don't have the Burj Khalifa. I don't even know where it is actually. Exactly, but it would be nice to have a huge 2,717-foot tall building spiking up somewhere. Yes, my supposition was correct about those actually, which is weird. Those islands are the World Islands, and yes, they're supposed to represent a map of the world. I don't know what they do with them. They're just little dots. There doesn't seem to be any structure on them. But yeah. There's a nice little island there. I thought the Burj Khalifa was close to one of these palm tree things, but I might be wrong. Okay, time to turn around and finally land. So, yep. Oh, it's possible that on landing we'll be very close to that. That is interesting. Both sides of this are clearly photo scenery, but I'm supposing this is older than that, and they've actually built up this area recently. I hope these nice long runways they've got here to match their nice tall building. We are not slowing down nearly enough. Okay, forget it. Nope, 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 nope. Gear up. Way too fast. Well, cars on a roadway make me happy. They only spawn in if you're going slow enough, though, I've noticed. Okay, brakes. I wonder if we can do without the parachute this time. Maybe. There's a long enough runway that I don't have to use the drag chute. I have not used the drag chute. That's the end of the runway. Come on. Slow down. Okay, well, we used the whole thing, but I think I see a taxiway up ahead anyway. So here we are at Dubai. The trip was Athens to Dubai. Let's not blow any tires. I've got a good record on that. So far, no blown tires on this trip. Not really hitting the taxiway marks very well though. There's a space available right there, it looks like. Don't think anybody will mind if I scoot in there, right? So next time we will fly to India and hopefully get a chance to see some of the Himalayas, but we probably won't do our official Himalaya flight yet. We'll see. I wish I had more scenery of Hong Kong, because that's probably where I'll fly to eventually. No, come on. Don't skid. Okay, get some brakes on. Yeah, close enough. Still sneaking up there. Alright. Yeah, not quite precise. We should go forward a little bit more. But anyway, here we are, Dubai. So with that, trip complete. I'll say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please do press like. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And I'll see you next time.